With a yo-ho-ho, it's TaleOfTheToaster. Welcome to another hybrid video on both the post-game and a bit before it. Just like the silver and gold chests, we also want to take a look at every piece of darkroom data, or blackroom data, whichever you want to call it. Many of these are available before you've beaten the game, some of them involve the silver chests, and then some of them are exclusively in the post-game. I'm just going to pick Soul as an example for now. I have unlocked all of the 9 training regimes, but by default you only have 2. So what I want to talk about first is how you unlock all 9 of these, and then we'll show off each one in detail and go over how it works. Some of them I've gone over in the main Let's Play, some of them I may not have, but it's good to have them all in one place. So Blackroom Data number 1 is unlocked by default, that's called Snow Squat. The next 2, Wild Boar and Dino Escape, both need the silver key to unlock. So if you haven't got that already, you're pretty much in the right place. Just head to Glacier's room on board the Orion Express. Then you'll get the silver key. You can then get Blackroom Data number 2 inside Ryman's dojo in a silver chest. And Blackroom Data number 3 is even more visible. It's right outside the Seaside Stadium in Odaiba in another silver chest. So you can get all those pretty easily. Blackroom Data number 4 is also available by default. And then the next 2 are just kind of found in the overworld. In fact, the next 3 are. First of all, Blackroom Data number 5 takes place in the Northern Desert, and that's exactly where you find the item. It's just somewhere in this big hoverboardable northern desert area. Blackroom Data number 6 doesn't necessarily look like what it's actually going to be doing, but this is found somewhere in the Pinewood Forest on Fertilia, or the Karamarine Forest in Japanese. That's not a very specific instruction, that's an incredibly large area, but to be blunt, I can't remember where it is in Karamarine Forest. I just know that I unlocked it during the main Let's Play, and it's hard to miss as long as you're getting everything within there, and if you did miss it, well, have a good search. Blackroom Data number 7 is though a lot easier. That's in Falamorbius Square. This is the one that visually looks like it's in Fertilia, but yes, you do pick it up from the central square in Falamorbius, so really nice and easy. Then the next 2 are found in competition routes, so these ones are the most hidden of all. Blackroom Data number 8 is found after you beat the Night Vipers in the competition route at Ragang's mansion in Ancestor Village. So it is Ragang's route. It's the second to last box in the route itself, but your reward for it is Black Data number 8, which lets you do this hovering race time trial. And finally, the really basic looking reset mode. You'd think that would just be there from the start, but it's not. It's the second treasure chest reward in the left-hand side route of Mr. Wintersea's competition route. So that's found in the Ryman Club room in the past, and it's the second reward that you get within a treasure chest. So that is exclusively within the post-game. You have to go to the Inazuma TM bus to even get there in the first place. They make you work pretty hard for reset mode, but hopefully you find that rewarding. Now let's just have a look at them all. The top 3 are the easiest to just go into detail on. Snow Squat is the weakest of the 3 training spots. These type of things were available in Inazuma Go 1. Oh dear, Soul has messed it up and only gotten 1 point. Yeah, these were available across the world in Go 1 and Go Chrono Stones. There were lots of different animations for these type of training roulette wheels. And they all specialised in different stats, so you had to go all over the place for them. Soul is really bad at this, so I guess let's just pick someone else. You know, Eric, you can get better at shooting. The one I'm training in right now, of course, is the weakest of the 3, so this is the last one I'll do. Everyone sucks at picking up snow. Let's get one good animation before we move on. It can be good, it can be excellent. I just want it to be something. This is my Supernova team, by the way, if you're seeing unfamiliar players. There, we got a good, and actually you are oh, we've got 3 points to distribute for a good. yeah, the trick with these training regimes is if someone has never been trained before, you will guaranteed get an excellent on your first try with them, I believe. So let's take young Globulus, who we recruited in the versus Supernova episode. Give him an excellent. He's going all at it to protect the planet of Falloorbius, and he can be extra good at block and speed and luck. I guess it's not as though I'm likely to use him. He's genuinely level 1. And these guys have totems, but he doesn't. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, oh yeah, I meant to select a player next. So back to my actual regular players for some more normal stuff. Wild Boar is the advanced one that we get out of the silver chest in Ryman Dojo. But the thing is, the Black Room Data number 2 and the Black Room Data number 3 are available at the same time as each other. So aside from Black Data number 3 being slightly more expensive, there's not much reason to go for this middle one. Like, at least the first one is available by default, and the other two aren't. But yeah, it's frankly easier to get Black Room Data number 3, so you might as well use that. Falco, that was not the first training exercise he's ever done. I think that's just a coincidence that he got an excellent there, but I'll certainly take it. And again, in Go Galaxy, you can pour so much extra time, so much, well, less human time, and so much more points into any stats that you like. This is a really effective way of getting people's stats up, and it's incredibly easy to just make your players extremely good at that. Whereas in Chronostones and Go 1, you were painstakingly traversing the map and then going to all kinds of different places just to increase one stat, one by one, and then you do the same thing for the other stats as well. But here, they're all in one place. You can increase by loads of points at once, and Caleb Stonewall can get run over by a dinosaur. Yeah, here we are in number 3 now. Let's just get a good and an excellent in Dino Escape. Excellent, I can just pick any random player. There's the good. We've seen the whoops, so let's just get an excellent with... I think I actually want to... What do I want to do here? I guess just make your long shots extra good. There's no limit to how many times you can just do the same training exercise with any random player. So it's really... yeah, golf. This is your time, the Dino Escape. It's just extremely easy to get player stats significantly higher, and I don't want to abuse this too much. Oh, he didn't get an excellent by default. Interesting. I mean, he's still got quite a lot going for him. I'll assign him some points, but let's... Go on, Mike. It's your time. Make an excellent escape from the dinosaur, please. Should have just gone with Saw. Well... One last chance then. Oh, have you seen Mike's block stat? Why is it so bad? And dribble. Mike, you better be a bit of an all-rounder. Right, November, you're the last chance for an excellent. You're extending the video time here. Alright, well, that was it. Yeah, you can't back out. I wanted to check if you can just double back and say, you know what, I don't want these points actually. But fine, we don't get to see... Oh, Damien Blacklock. Make a daring escape from a dinosaur, please! What am I doing? Just put him on kick. I don't care, I'm never going to use this guy. Right. Next training exercise. Simian Ape. You can do Explosive Dribble. So this is the other one that's unlocked by default. And it takes a long time. You are running around collecting these stars, dodging missiles, and occasionally picking up treasure chests while avoiding bombs that Simian was probably the one dropping himself. You can get all kinds of good rewards just from treasure chests around the map. Make sure you're also getting these timers. Some of these include the dribbling moves Plasma Cut, Ball Lightning, Fugue Wave, defensive move Whirlpool, and the skills Recovery and Pronto Pass. So those are at random. The treasure chests don't actually drop all that often. It's somewhat rare that you even see one. It's usually only going to happen once per time trial. Twice if you're lucky, but sometimes 0. But you are also rewarded with more training points depending on how well you do in the minigame. And honestly, their definitions of a good and bad run are really strict. Like, you have to do like extremely well to be rewarded with a good run. At the moment, the minigame is kind of easy, but the more stars you get, the more you'll level up. And then the more you level up, the more missiles there will be to avoid, more bombs, and just everything moves quicker. So right now I'm having a relatively flawless run, but the more I level up, the more it's going to get just crazy sicko mode, however you want to call it. The first mistake is on its way, basically, but if I can get a new high score, then that would be pretty cool. So again, the timer right now, there's 81 seconds left on the clock, and we're increasing that more the more we get timers. There we go, the combo is over. It was bound to happen at some point. I couldn't double back at that point. The punishment wasn't too severe on that case, and there's my first treasure chest, so we'll see which of the rewards it's gonna be. But this game, it's not that rewarding for how hard it gets later on, but it is fun. Like, I've spent a lot of time playing this one and not doing especially well when I'm making amateur mistakes like that, but it is genuinely entertaining, and I've poured quite a bit of time into this one. But it's not the most effective way to actually increase your player's stats if that's what you're here for. The best way to do that is just stuff like Dino Escape on repeat, and especially another one that we're going to cover further into the video. This is mainly just if you want to have some fun while increasing the stats of your players, while also trying to get the unique rewards for the drops, because stuff like plasma cuts are really good dribble that I think you can get it from a shop in the post game, but not necessarily during the main story where this is immediately available. So the rewards aren't amazing necessarily, but I think they'll kind of generally get better as the games go on. So for now, we're coming to the end of this minigame. Let's get that reward. I'm actually kind of sacrificing points and potential level ups to go for those treasure chests. Like, if you're actually going for a high score, you'll want to avoid the treasure chests because they're purely a diversion and they don't add towards your total score. Simeon has been blown up. The world has been saved. We got a pure pendant. So the only rewards I listed were the moves, but apparently I missed one because you can also get Ozone Flare, unless that's Supernova exclusive. I'm not too sure, but that's a really good defensive move, so I'm glad I was able to pick that one up. But again, that was a middling run. It's just given me good payback. 12 points I can pick up. Let's give you 200 kick, a bit more dribble, and a bit more of everything, I suppose. A little bit of both at the same time. Righto, so we'll move on to training with Cadence Soundtown, I reckon. You're going to do the hovering rally time trial. So this is one I've done a lot less because it's also really time consuming, but it's even harder. It takes you to the hoverboarding area in the Great Northern Desert, and you just want to get as many stars as you can without missing one, get to the goal, and then the more you will level up by actually completing the stage, while the stars just increase your score. So overall, getting to the end goal is more important than getting the stars, but the stars are generally going to send you in the quickest way possible anyway. And also, again, some timers and some treasure chests are going to appear while you're on these paths. So I'm going to try and list off some of those potential rewards while also trying to do the mini game. This one is very hard to play without looking at the screen, so I'll do it in pieces. But you can get Jumping Jack, the shot that JP has that's also a shot block. Or you can get Dark Tornado, which is in Falco's level up moveset. Or even Ballista Barrage, a long shot which used to be the best of its kind in Go 1, I believe. Not so much anymore. Entropic Arrows, the Void type shot used by Victor's brother. Brimstone Rain, which is quite widely available from a shop. Possibly, though, in the post-game as well. Again, this minigame you can access during the main story just by picking up the treasure chest from the very location in which the minigame is set. It's somewhere, you'll find it. The best shots that you can get, to my knowledge, from this minigame are Do Re Mi, the long shot used by Goldie, which is just really good. 160 power, fire type, and honestly belongs on one of your actual strikers, to be honest. It's a great thing to have. And you can also get Elemental Destroyer, a move which is very, very rarely seen. It belonged to the movie antagonist Pincus in the original story, and it was kind of the flagship Void shot, pretty much the first Void shot to be in the series. Even the likes of Entropic Arrows, which we just talked about, I think didn't come until Chronostones. Elemental Destroyer, it's named after, it destroys the elements because it's a Void type, it's not weak to any of them. But nowadays it's just, there are much better Void shots, like Omega Assault in particular from the Protocol Omega Brigade. So it's no longer that good of a move, but it's one that you barely see in anyone's moveset, so obtaining it as an item is going to be one of the best ways you can actually see the move at all. So that's it for the rewards that I'm aware of. I'm just going off everything that's listed on the Inazuma Wiki, which isn't necessarily a complete list, but it's better than nothing. Clearly Ozone Flare was missing, but we'll see if we can get any others. Of course, as you can see, I've made it to level 10, and I haven't gotten a single treasure chest item yet, and I've only got one timer either, so this one's kind of a bit more brutal in letting you extend the playtime, and you can make one small mistake and basically ruin a run on this thing, which sucks because it takes a long time to do this, and to make one mistake like 3 whole minutes in, it hurts. So I don't do this one very often, but you can see the layouts on the bottom screen, but from my experience when you're playing along, I wouldn't worry about it. Memorize the bottom screen route when you're going into the route. There's my mistake that's going to cost me. Yeah, it's good to memorize the route when it's showing you this, which you can look at on the bottom screen. I can see that there's a timer that I must collect. But when I'm actually moving, I'm just purely looking at the top screen. I can't Star Fox Zero this. I can't Wii U gamepad mode. I'm purely looking at the angle of the stars on the top screen and focusing as best I can to finish it. My advice is not necessarily the best advice because, like I say, I'm not that good at this. It doesn't look like I'm doing that badly, but when I get to the end, it will tell me that I've done badly. But let's get that treasure chest at all costs. I'm more bothered about that than the high score. So there we go. We got it. Timer is also on the way here. Oh, crash into a wall. Very amateurish mistake there. And once again, I'm missing all the stars. 9 seconds left even after collecting the timer. But let's see how many more stages I can complete within that 11 seconds. I think here I'm going to sack off the stars and just try and whiz purely to the exit as quickly as possible. Maybe that's missing the point, but I want to get that last level up. And I've just barely done it because I missed. I missed again. Well, we made it to level 15. I don't think it's going to be a new high score or anything. We definitely can't make it to that last one. But well done to Cadence Soundtown for showing his surfing prowess nevertheless. Brimstone Rain, which is something we already have plenty of. It's even in Ricardo's moveset in one of my save files, but oh well, let's give you some block and some kick and you're done, buddy. But Cadence Soundtown is a player that I actually use, so it's nice to get a bit of extra stats on him. Next we've got another minigame, so I will cycle back to who do we want to use for this. Let's use Desmodus Dracul. We're not quite getting to the next minigame yet actually. Auto mode is next in the list, so this is the one that you find in... You know what, maybe this is actually like Blackroom Data number 7 and Blackroom Data number 6 just unlocks it over here. The menu is kind of grouping all the minigames together, and the stat training things at the top, and then these two on the right are special features. So let's keep the mini games going for now. I'm going to assume this is Black Date number 6 in Pinewood Forest, but this is the one I'm worst at. You're not going to see my face in the face cam for this because this is purely touchscreen. Well, I'll leave the camera running, but I'm not going to be making much in the way of eye contact because I've got to look purely at the bottom screen for this one. Complete opposite of what I was saying about the hoverboard rally. It's very mobile gamey. You have to get exactly the right angle to then tap your character and fling off at the best angle to collect all the stars and especially the timers and treasure chests along the way. So I have made a critical error with the timers before I even reached level 2. And this is not going to be a record-breaking run by any means. Like, the layouts are the same each time you do this, so you're best off just grinding it out if you want to get better at this. Memorize all the routes and which way the left to right thing is going to send you first. Like here it's sending us to the right, but we actually want to move to the left if we want to get all the items. And sometimes if you know that everything's going to line up to avoid an enemy and get all the stars and you want to go to the right anyway, sometimes you might want to just go for an immediate launch and hope that it works out. But I'm just going to be trying to go on instinct. At least I've not hit any of these stingers yet. Do they have an Inazuma Wiki article? You know, they don't appear in any capacity other than this minigame, to the best of my knowledge. What are they? Do they even have official names? Akihiro Hino, please answer my cries. Give us some official artwork. Justice for the stingers in the bound jump. I'm just calling them stingers because that's what they're called in Donkey Kong Country. A completely different Nintendo property. That was a flub. On my part, we wanted to drop off the top there. Oosh! We missed. Finally, we see what happens if we fail to make it to the top of the screen altogether. And I'll even show you it twice in succession. Off we go. Third time's the charm. Show us a treasure chest, please. We've still got 106 seconds left, which is fairly generous. But again, when I do reach the end, they're going to tell me, you did okay. It wasn't excellent, but in this case, it will definitely feel quite deserved. I'm messing up quite a lot. I said it's quite mobile gamey, but to be honest, the main thing it's like is mini-games in Super Mario 64 DS and New Super Mario Brothers. I've already got the timer, so now I'm just trying to take the quickest road out, and I'm still messing that up. That game had a lot of mini-games where you're just drawing trampolines under Mario to get higher up, and timing-based touchscreen exercises, so it's a good little flashback to that, but it can be a bit frustrating when in that you just saw me get the perfect angle to collect the timer in the quickest amount of time possible, and then the stinger just happened to be in the wrong place at the right time and said, well, good effort, however I've decided it wasn't good enough. And also if you're trying to buffer an auto tap, I'm just going to skip this one, it's not worth it, too hard. Alright, 1-star performance. Yeah, if I mash, like that's me mashing to try and launch off at a straight angle, but it doesn't work, so fine, I guess the easiest way is straightforward, and we're going to be here all day if we need to be. Go on, Desmodus Dracool, there you go. Only took forever. Oh, what do you even do here? Alright, bounce off the right, avoid the stingers. I got the right angle, but they just happened to intercept me, and now because I've taken the impact, the perfect angle has been taken away. Like, you're following the stars to try and get the best angle of approach, but if you've already collected the stars, you're going to lose that indicator of your best angle, and that's happened to me again. Also, it takes something to keep an eye on, depending on what you're playing this on, is actually the gap between the bottom screen and the touch screen. So in my layout that you'll be watching this video footage on, there will be no gap between the top screen and the bottom screen, but on my 2DS that I'm actually playing on, there is like a couple millimeter gap, that was an accident, between the top and bottom screen, which the game tries to keep in mind. So that's why if the characters look like they're interlacing a bit and the backgrounds don't quite jar together, it looks a lot more perfect on an actual console. So the main reason I do it like that in my layout is because that's how I also play. I'm playing on a real 2DS, but I'm still using capture board software that puts it onto my computer screen just as the top screen immediately on top of the bottom screen. So It feels natural to me, but it doesn't work out as well for bound jump. Like if I was making a Sonic Rush Let's Play, for example, I would have to recreate that gap between... no, you don't need stamina. A bit of luck, I guess, and otherwise your stats are already insane, so just make them even more insane. I'm surprised we made it to the middle completion there, to be honest. But now, one more minigame, and it's going to be back to familiar territory. The hovering race we've done with Eric and Buddy before, apparently. The first one was, you know, how many perfects can you get within the time limit, which you can extend with the thing. But right, different. First was collecting stars and finishing as quickly as possible, whereas this one is actually not about collecting things, and it's more purely making it to the end of the track. And it's fun, genuinely. I really enjoy this one. I've realised now that I've forgotten to tell you what the rewards were for. Oh dear. Can I quit? That was a terrible training. So let me tell you before it gets too far ahead. The rewards for bound jump include... they're all goalkeeper moves this time. So you've got Capoeira Grab, the Brazilian move from Inazuma 3. You've got Gyro Blocker, you've got Nitro Slap, you've got Claw de Force, along with Gigant Wall. God Hand V, just one of the best moves in the game. Well, no, it's God Hand X that's the strongest goalkeeper move in the game, but that's still pretty good. And then the new skill for Go Galaxy, Anti-Critical, gets in there. There are no rewards to be gained from this minigame, because there's no chests to collect. You're just focusing on finishing as quickly as possible. This one is also cheaper as a result of that. It's only 500 prestige points to do it, because it's less rewarding in terms of items, but it's still very good in terms of leveling up your character's stats. I say very good. It's good. It's still better to just do stuff like Dino squats, because it's way quicker for a random chance of much better rewards. Like, just mash that if you want to actually level up your characters. But this is fun to just do from a gameplay perspective. Like, let's try and get a good score here in the time trial. Whoopee! That time we didn't mess it up. But also, you will see Pixie ahead of us. That is our time trial ghost, who was ahead of us until I made a quick undercut. It's actually overtaken us again. White Pixie represents my best run in this minigame so far, which clearly I have not matched by any means. But it's only one lap, so you can do this as many times as you like. Shall I try that again and see if I can maybe beat my high score? That would be nice. Let's just... Who else do I have who wants to take a go at this? We now have level 1 Arculus with his totem Dragnova, which we didn't get to see too much of it. It had Victor's shop. We saw it in the Supernova video, but I just wondered if it changed for the match against Space Rankers, because I feel like Circulus's may have, but we never actually got to test his thing in the first place. We're currently ahead of the ghost, but can I keep it that way over the jump? Yes, we're actually significantly ahead of the ghost. Come on, level 1 player, you were born for this. You just got to pick an alien who actually lives in space, and then all of a sudden, oh no, we're actually getting further ahead. All right, that was a great little opportunity, but then I was looking at the bottom screen. I completely lost track of what was happening on the top, and we got completely undercut by my own high score, by the way. Like, that was me that did that significant undercut, just in a different time. But fine, we'll try it again. Go on, Arculus. You're already second on the leaderboard, so let's see if you can do it again. Right, no comms. I'm going to try my best. 2, 1, oosh. There we go. By the narrowest of margins, we've got a new high score. But it was over 40 seconds, so I think that still counts as a bad run. We would be getting more points if we'd got what the game considers to be a good run, which I think is at least under 40 seconds. I'm going to try off screen, see if I can do it. In short, no. No, I could not. So, but burn some more points on Mike, and we'll move on to the next thing. Who do I want to pick for this? Because I believe the next one we're going to look at is pretty important. Let's try Soul. Because now we're going to look at Black Room data, presumably number 7. This is Auto mode. So, Dino Escape, 2,000 prestige points, randomly might give you plus 30 for an excellent. Auto, you spend 500 prestige points to get in. It's basically like a club with pay at the door. Like, you get your entry fee, and then you spend more points to just buy as many as you want. Actually, it's 500 prestige points per singular point. So, wow, this sucks. Yeah, spend 2,000 points a few times to eventually get a plus 30. I don't want to spend 5,000 for 10. That's less than I was getting out of the training, like, mini games. But nevertheless, we have invested in Soul Daystar, so just get better at kicking. Yeah, that's less efficient than I thought, and use that only if you need to finish off the job on someone, I guess. The last one is even more useless, so let's pick November, because you were very disappointingly not excellent in your Dino Escape attempt. The final one, why is this unlockable? And why is it in a competition route of all things? This is here to reset all of your extra training points back to 0 in case you decided you messed up and you want to do it again. Bye-bye November's points. There you go, unique sound effect for it. Her kick is gone, her dribble is gone, her block is gone. There's very few scenarios where that's going to be useful, I would imagine. Orion, how did you end up over here? Where did you go? And Arculus has ended up in the main squad as well. That's interesting. There's the excellent. We can end the video now. Orion has gone on the run and he's gotten extremely good at kick and really good at blocking, and he's gotten a little bit lucky and a bit faster and then even better at kicking. That's a huge increase, but 30 points for 2,000, that's a bargain. So is Arculus in control? Soul is going to be our main character now, but oh well. That is a look at all of the training games and other options within the Dark Room. Again, if you need the silver key to get the other chests unlocked, it's just going to be right over here at the top of Glacier's room. So, thank you for watching. Get your players nicely leveled up, because, oh my word, like, it's easier than ever in Go Galaxy. In Chrono Stones and Go 1, it took forever to level up your players' stats. Whereas in Go Galaxy, it's genuinely extremely easy. And this is the way to do it. So, it is an improvement for the game overall, because it's something that the dedicated players were going to do regardless. Mike is in the squad as well. When did you get here? Oh, you can stay, I suppose. Love you, Mike. Yeah. For the people who want competitively super viable players, this is the way to do it. And the potential of it is boundless. So, have fun with it. This video was longer than I expected. See you in another one.